Do I look sexy?
You look amazing.
I think so do you.
Thanks, I played sports.
Were you forced to play sports?
That's what's weird to me is it's like no one was forcing me to sign up for a sport.
Yeah.
What I was forced to do is follow through with a sport. My parents wouldn't let me quit.
Good for them.
I know, good for them, but I was like, I'm going to kill myself if I do it with a baseball game.
Baseball specifically was the one sport I could never get into. Because what's the point? What are you doing? Smacking a ball?
Best asses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where were we? The Mets game?
The Mets game, we're disgusting people.
We're pigs. We have recognized that we are
Men are
actually
pigs.
filthy men pigs.
Well, then we're like sweet little angels.
You're right.
Like we're the sweetest little innocent babies.
But when you're at a Mets game, like what else are you gonna do? You're gonna
you're gonna objectify.
Like, oh my god, left field.
Good children.
Wait,
I've been like widening these pipes.
Because you know that we're going to have a music contract coming up.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Good Children, the podcast where me and Andrew discuss our joint childhood in the late 2000s, early 2010s, and all of the nostalgia, trauma, and sports games that come along with it. I don't know what happened.
No, that was really good.
Thank you.
Sports.
I've
always been Sporty Spice.
You've always been a sporty kid.
And you've always been scary.
Oh,
sorry.
my God, you're so right.
I'm kind of sorry, but I guess like if we were talking Spice Girls, like you would be posh.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm fine with being scary.
Okay.
I think that like I'm willing to admit that like I don't necessarily think my execution always falls under posh.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Vision, posh.
Yes.
Execution, we're getting ginger. I loved Spice World.
Yeah.
But I didn't necessarily like I was never
life.
old enough to like understand Spice Girls mania.
No.
And is it like
We were young.
But they were like bigger than Little Mix in America and the US.
For sure.
That's
I can only
interesting.
imagine. But Little Mix has been around forever.
And you're a mixinista.
These wings are made to fly. You want to bring up singing as a sport?
I wouldn't consider singing a sport. I'm so sorry.
Consider dancing a sport.
I do consider dancing a sport. There was a point in my early childhood. Oh, DDR. Hello.
Yeah.
Like that point, I was like, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get skinny because of DDR. I was like, I need this because Lindsay Lohan, Teenage Drama Queen. I was like, I'm going to learn how to dance just like her. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to lose a bunch of weight and get really skinny.
I'm in a place while we follow our dreams. Because we rock on. They can handle it? Okay.
That was your weight loss plan?
Was DDR.
Was DDR like a double right step to a single left step? I mean, like, honestly, that is
Stop,
really
my
innovative.
entire body hurts when I laugh.
That's really innovative.
Oh my
Joe
God.
is really sore right now.
It's so bad.
But you're an athlete.
I gave in. I gave in to this evil, vile pig sitting in front of me who convinced me to sign up for his gym. No disrespect to F45.
No, it's great.
Because I do think it's a great gym.
Yes.
One thing about me, I've never been disciplined.
You haven't been disciplined, but like it is tough on my end to really discipline you.
Yeah.
In that sense, because it's like, where is the divide? I'm your coach now.
Right.
You're on my team.
And I'm saying, shut the fuck up and get away from me as I'm doing a
I'm like,
push-up.
Joe, literally give me a burpee. And you're like,
no.
Okay. I think it's really interesting that I'm now considered a coach when like I would say the most trauma that I personally experienced was via coaches. Being yelled at has always been tough.
For some reason, I keep thinking you're going to kinks. I'm sorry. It's just before we started talking, we were talking about kinks.
We were talking about kinks.
Discipline, being yelled at. I keep thinking like, oh, he's really taking it there. But
I mean, I could.
No, let's keep talking about sports. I love sports so much.
You love sports.
Were you like
bullied by coaches?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean,
would you say your coaches were your biggest bullies?
100%.
That's crazy.
It was always an older person for me. Like the coaches, things I've been called were
Do you think that they were like closeted and like were taking out their aggressions on you?
I don't know. Or they just knew that I was closeted and taking their aggression out on me.
I don't know. I think it's a cycle.
I don't know.
I think
but
it's a
the thing
cycle of violence.
Being called big guy, fine. But then when you're in high school and we're doing sprints, you're doing sprints in high school?
No.
I'm the last one. What are they saying?
No.
Lazy sack of shit.
Adult?
An adult in front of everybody screaming at me, speed up, you lazy sack of shit.
And that becomes your internal monologue.
Yeah,
That becomes like how you talk to yourself.
I'm a lazy sack of shit.
Right. You're
I
like,
would
yeah,
go home
an
and I'm
adult
like,
confirmed it.
I'm fat and disgusting.
That is like the most bone-chilling experience. Is like, and that's any kind of bullying, I think, is when someone else confirms like your sneaking suspicion about yourself.
All you want to hear, especially from a coach, is like positive affirmation.
You
just want the validation. Good boy. You're a good boy.
Oh my God.
No, I want to hear like, great job.
Yeah.
You're doing so well, right? For me, I felt like I was always proving that I was good at sports because I was not visibly looking like I was good at a sport.
Right, yeah. In retrospect, I never once looked at you as a person that I knew and was like, oh, he plays sports. Like, you played every sport, but I didn't consider you an athlete in the slightest.
No.
And that's crazy.
And I was like starting goalie on a Long Island lacrosse team.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I'm going to be scouted. I'm going to school for lacrosse.
Yeah.
Crazy. I put everything into that sport, and then I got taken into that space, and they said to me, if you want to start on this varsity team, you got to lose 25 pounds.
Did you?
I didn't lose 25 pounds. I still started.
You're kind of like the Tracy Turnblad of Long Island sports.
Kind of.
Has anyone almost stopped your beat?
I would say that like that was probably the closest my beat has ever been stopped, because it was like I actually like it was like proving that kid is 6'4" and skinny, but I'm better than him.
Right, but no one's
why can't you see? Yeah. I'm literally like, you don't know how it feels to be outside the crowd, and you don't know what it's like to be left out.
Yeah.
So like that's exactly how I felt.
That's
on the outside looking.
Yeah, that really is so true.
Career.
That explains so much of who you are right now.
And that's why I always wanted to quit. Always wanted to quit a sport.
No one necessarily ever spoke to me negatively, but I was like getting up to bat in my skin tight baseball pants and my skin tight shirt and my belt that didn't fit, and being like, I'm the fattest kid on the team and everyone knows it, and I can't hit a baseball and I can't run.
Yeah.
And then when you did something right, I would like hit the ball and it was like too much of a celebration. I was like, okay, like the whole town is cheering that Joe Hegyes hit a baseball.
Joey Hegyes hit the ball.
Yeah, and that was even more humiliating. I was like, no, like please treat me like everyone else.
Oh, so when you even hit the ball, you were upset?
Even though I did the thing right, I was still ostracized. The narrative for me was always like, you're so big. If you just made contact with that ball, you would hit a home run.
Yep.
And I was always like, yeah, but I don't want the fucking ball to hit me. And now me and balls.
You and balls, you're like, I want to get hit in the face. Support for Good Children is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in below-the-waist grooming.
Their products are precision-engineered tools for all of your grooming needs. Manscaped's Performance Package is the ultimate hygiene bundle.
Join over 4 million individuals worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you.
20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code GOODCHILDREN at manscaped.com.
GoodChildren at manscaped.com.
Anytime I've ever done physical activity, I've always been like one step away from dying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm always like the pain I get in my side. You know that
pain?
Running the mile in elementary school. It's actually alarming to consider the fact that like running a mile almost took me out at 10 years old. Like I was like, I'm fully gonna pass away.
It would be at least 17 minutes.
Because I'd be like, it'd be sharp shooting pain.
Sharp.
I just wanted to sit. I was going to talk about the sexual awakening of putting on your first jockstrap.
Yeah.
That to me was a very interesting experience. There was a humiliation and shame around getting it.
Yep.
You're like at Modell's Sports Authority.
Love Sports Authority. There's nothing worse than when the cup was too small.
And it was almost always too small.
Yeah, why?
I don't know.
It wasn't like I was packing heat. I will say though, for lacrosse, when I was a goalie, I had to wear a hockey cup.
Oh my God.
Biggest thing you've ever seen. It was so big. And I was kind of like,
wow.
You know what I mean?
I kind of know what you mean.
I'm going to say one thing about soccer. I didn't want to play it. If you were a mom or a dad bringing sliced oranges to a soccer game,
it's the only motivation
I want to give you a hug.
Yeah, that's the only reason I would go to a soccer game.
Yeah, that juice packs anything. I'm sitting on the sideline because obviously I'm not going in the game, and I'm sucking on an orange slice.
I will say I feel like my greatest spectator sport, the thing I enjoyed watching the most, was dance moms.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's a sport.
Yes. That's actually the only sport I probably really cared about growing up.
And in retrospect, what's going on?
With whom? Abby Lee Miller.
the viewers of Dance Moms and Abby Lee Miller and the
Yeah.
mothers who put their children on Dance Moms.
Yeah, no.
Because that's a class action lawsuit waiting to happen. That's an investigation. That's a documentary series. That's
Yes.
everything. Like,
I want to talk to the girls. I actually would watch that show and I couldn't believe my eyes. Was I laughing at some of the points? Yeah. And I
we
think
were
that
like
people
reveling in child abuse.
Yes.
And that's what's so crazy.
Because we were like probably in turn also getting yelled at by a coach or by
Yes.
something. So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, this is so me. This is
Right.
literally me.
And the other side of that was that I was like, I am Maddie Ziegler.
Yeah.
We were rolling around on the floor being like, I'm a talented floor artist.
Still to this day, I'm rolling around the floor and like,
You're doing a
yeah,
moment all the time.
Always was doing that. If I learned facial expressions
from Maddie.
Maddie.
Yeah. She knew how to emote in a crazy way. We emoted and did a lot of dancing on fields together.
Yes.
We were never supposed to be on the same sports team.
No.
Because when we were, it became actually Dancing with the Stars. I remember getting yelled at by both of our dads because we would like dance on the field during flag football.
Flag football was game over. I mean, we were too old to be doing that, and like we shouldn't have been playing flag football. But like, I'm happy that we had fun with it by dancing. At the end of the day, like us running towards somebody, like they had to be nervous.
But I was terrified for my life, so it didn't really work out for them. How do you feel about a locker room situation, Andrew Muscarella?
I definitely didn't feel comfortable in the locker room. The locker room talk, though.
Was it homophobia? Was it sexism?
It was sexism, for
Okay.
sure. It was definitely, like, degrading towards women.
Right.
And I'll never forget one day. I'm in the locker room. They're all
Were you
talking.
an ally?
Yeah. They're all talking about this one girl in school. And I had to say, can you please stop talking about her like that? She's my friend.
Oh my God, not all men.
Not all men.
Not all men.
They were like, I was like, I don't care that you're having your own sexual awakening. That doesn't matter. I was like, she's a person.
Do you think that's what matters?
And so
to
am
you?
I. So don't say anything about her because I don't want to hear it.
And in reality, you were like jealous because you were like hoping they were talking about
And
you.
I kind of was like, but yeah, locker rooms, again, another source of my trauma. Piss on my foot.
That's crazy, Andrew.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
sexual harassment.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was in the locker room, I was peeing in the stall, and all of a sudden, I was a freshman. All of a sudden, I look down, and I'm like, what's going on? And there's a stream of piss next to my foot. Next to my foot. And for me, like,
What's going on with your foot? Do you have a shoe on?
Yeah, I have my cleats.
Okay.
Thank God. But I actually didn't even say anything. I just like started slowly sliding my foot away from it.
That's the worst part of that story.
Yeah, because then we both got out of the stall and like nothing was said.
He didn't acknowledge it?
No.
Wait. It almost it was like a cruising situation.
Do you think it was kind of cruising?
Well, he probably was really confused when you didn't react.
And I'm like,
I was probably like, oh fuck, he likes it.
yeah.
Listen, I don't have any disrespect for like anyone who plays sports, and like I really understand that like people enjoy it, but I do think that like if you're someone who really enjoys playing sports, like you do have something really wrong with you, like intrinsically, because like I just can't imagine it being a Tuesday night and being like, I'm gonna go play volleyball. Do you know what I mean?
Do you have you ever thought about there's something wrong with you? You know what I mean?
Like, I understand that perspective.
Yeah.
But no, because like I just don't think the ancient Greeks were like waking up to play volleyball. They were.
They were definitely playing sports. They were definitely like walking. They were definitely like being.
I love to walk.
Oh yeah,
I think walking is like the number one sport, and like
Yeah.
people should have walking leagues.
But I do think that sports is like their form of play, people's form of play.
Get a fucking journal. Start painting.
You know what, Joe?
Use
Not
your mind,
everyone
not your
is
body.
you.
That's just my opinion.
I guess that's my opinion.
I don't know, maybe it's the ostracizing the things that I felt ostracized from,
Yeah.
but like every person who played a sport in high school, I was like, you guys are so weird.
Yeah, I mean, like everyone would be wearing their sports jersey on the day of the.
Yeah, and I'm like,
game.
okay, like I don't understand what you're trying to flex here, that you have no social life.
It kind of felt like it was your birthday every single time you did it because you're like, oh my god, good luck at the game tonight.
I
You're like,
wasn't saying that.
Thank you. Yeah, you definitely weren't saying that.
I was like, look at those freak losers in their football jerseys.
As you're like,
I'm taking a thick Sharpie and drawing tattoos on my wrist in the middle of gym.
I can't believe we had such different high school experiences.
It's so
like,
insane.
I was the jock.
If we hadn't met when we met, and we met in high school,
Yeah.
would we have ever interacted?
I think yes.
On
because
purpose?
of like, I think we would have been in similar classes.
I don't think we would have been friends, though.
No, probably not.
Probably.
No.
Ultimately, I think we'd be actually enemies.
I wouldn't hate you. I think that you.
I would hate
me.
you.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you look forward to your games?
No, it was miserable.
So, like, I would wake up. I'm 7 years old. I am first checking the weather.
Mm-hmm.
I'm praying to God. It's probably the most religious I'll ever be.
Yes.
Praying to God for rain. Every single time there is a sporting event or a sports practice.
The worst feeling is even when it was raining. Them
And
saying
they
it's
said
still on.
I was like, no, it's unsafe.
You're like, there's literally lightning.
This is not okay.
Oh, lightning.
Yeah, I used
And
to
you're like, call it off.
pray
Call it off.
for lightning. I need a catastrophic weather event, or I need
Yes.
to die before this game happens tonight.
Yep.
I was always hoping to get hit by a car before a sports game. I was like, I just would rather that than have to play the game. You know what I mean? Come on.
I mean, I wouldn't say that I wanted to die before. Like, I actually die before a game.
A light injury.
I'm driving my car. I'm literally 2 seconds away from my house, and I get into a car accident. And it was like actually like a crazy car accident, right? She ran through the stop sign. It was not my fault. I hit the back of her car because I slammed on it. Whatever. 2 days later, I'm at school. I'm like, my neck hurts. My neck literally hurts. I went to the doctor. They put me in a neck brace.
I can't. I have never in my entire life heard about this. And I saw you every day.
I didn't tell Joe once. Because every time I hung out with you, I took off the neck brace.
That's insane.
Yeah, so, yeah, no, I definitely had, like, whiplash for sure. I was hanging out with you, like, post-taking Valium.
My elementary school yearbook, this is so fucked up. You wrote, like, whatever, good luck and how it, like, love Andrew, and, like, drew a smiley face, but the smiley face looked like a heart. And I drew hair over it, so it didn't look like a heart. So in 5th grade, I was like, me and Andrew are gay and no one can know.
Oh my God. Like, what if it was a heart?
Right. It could have been.
It
very well could have
was.
been. Yeah. And I was like, no. And I drew hair over it.
Oh my God, you guys are
Isn't
learning
that
so
crazy?
much. Yeah, that's
Like,
crazy.
what happened to 10-year-old me that I had to do that?
No. Yeah. That's not good.
That's the same year that I got called a faggot for wearing a hat that had webkins all over it. Crazy hat day.
Oh, that's really...
So I think that was when the introduction of, like, that started for me.
Was that the umbrella hat? That was a Halloween parade?
You
Was
wore
that
the
me?
umbrella hat. You wore the umbrella hat. That was another crazy hat day. But I had a hat with braids on it for that one.
Yes.
No, I had like, it was like a baseball cap that I stapled a bunch of webkins to and like wore it to school. It's just like, I just love women. I just love women. Like at the end of the day, I know that there are girls gays and there are gays. We're girls gays.
We are girls gays at the end of the day.
And we have each other
Yeah.
to offset it and a few extraneous gays in our lives that we love.
Yeah.
But the time when sports got not fun for me is when it was no longer like boys and girls doing basketball.
Yeah.
Because that was fun.
Co-ed.
Co-ed sports were so much more fun.
They were.
And then the moment that I had to be separated,
was
I was like, I
competitive.
don't get to hang out with my friends. And it was just you.
And then it was just me.
Being on a sports team without you, hell on earth.
Because there was like obviously a shared commonality, a shared
being
anxiety.
femme, fat, and gay.
Yeah. I don't want to watch sports. I don't want to watch football.
Something that interests me,
Yeah.
and it's like, this is truly not a shade thing to anyone, but the gays who enjoy watching sports,
Yeah.
it's not like I'm genuinely really interested in that because it logically makes sense. Like, why should being gay be the delineation between enjoying a sport and not? But I'm always like, what?
It's the team aspect too. I think it's like the feeling of like you
Loving a team?
Yeah, loving a team.
For me, that's
loving people.
That's
I don't know.
Gaga. It's Taylor.
Exactly. So like if you can conceptualize that, that's how they feel.
But the difference is like you love the Yankees, I love Lady Gaga. Like the Yankees, won a championship? Lady Gaga has like 15 Grammys. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I agree. Like the Yankees definitely won more than one championship.
They won like 79 championships.
Yeah.
But Gaga has put out like bodies of work. Like she has like done something besides hit a ball, run around a field. That's what I don't get because I'm like, a baby does that. A child can play baseball.
I think that is where the line is blurred because it's like you there is skill. Obviously, these people are skilled.
But they're as skilled as a college athlete and an elementary school athlete. That's what I don't get. It's like, no, not everyone could do what Gaga does, but I guarantee you what Baby could do what Derek Jeter did.
And they're getting paid so much money.
They're getting paid so much money.
And I'm kind of like, for what?
And like, again, I love it. I love that people have pastimes. I love that there is enjoyment and people enjoy watching it. But it legitimately mathematically does not add up to me.
No.
Because Beyonce's halftime show versus that Super Bowl, which one are we still talking about?
I was just about to bring that up. I was going to say like halftime shows.
Yeah. Like do you remember who played that year?
Oh, absolutely not.
No, because it was Beyonce's Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone could tell you. I could tell you it was 2013 and it was Beyonce's Super Bowl.
Gaga
I could
Super
not
Bowl,
tell you.
J-Lo, everybody.
Yes. Katy Perry's even. Left Shark.
Perry's Left Shark was all we were talking about.
Taylor is ever going to do a Super Bowl?
I feel like it's on her.
I know, but I also think that she needs more pop music.
Yeah.
Because she can't do she has a lot of great pop hits, but she needs more.
I feel like I don't think she missed it because she obviously can still be singing those songs, but I think that at her Super Bowl peak was like 5 years ago.
1989.
Yeah.
I know, I'm curious.
Then she could have sang
like
basically every hit, and now it's kind of like, are we getting away from that?
Right.
Or is she going to come full circle?
Well, that's what keeps me up at night, because what is her next album going to be?
Yeah.
What is it going to be?
What is it going to be?
I have a gut feeling it's psychedelic pop. I really do think. And it would change my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, no disrespect to Derek Jeter. I feel bad for what I said.
No, don't feel bad. But I will say that I'm happy that you brought up halftime shows. I think that is genuine, a pure sense of entertainment. And if for us who loves the girlies, especially in high school or anything, watching the Kickline perform, I actually would clench my chest.
God.
I'd be like,
I'm sorry to the cheerleaders. I'm so sorry, but when those Kickline girls walked out and did a 45-minute performance to Darude's Sandstorm, it was some of the most earth-shattering, jaw-dropping, heart-stopping experiences.
The pointed toes.
The synchronicities. Yeah. Why were they... It's insane that they had to go on in between a football game.
You feel like the football should be in between?
Yes! The football players could have ran back and forth for 15 minutes in between a 2.5 hour long halftime show.
I agree.
The Kickline cheerleaders are the original pop girls. That's who you first stan.
Yeah.
And it's those girls don't even like you.
Nope.
But nevertheless, I'm that is...
obsessed with
yes.
them. The cheerleading performances too, yes, you can do your home chant, but when the music bumps out of nowhere and then you're tossing them up.
You're completely gagged.
Oh yeah.
I tossed.
When it looked like they were flying, they would catch them and they would swoop.
Here's to strong women.
It was a 4D experience almost. I was my
phone was always, I was recording it like I was actually at a concert. Yeah. Always.
I was I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My sports was reality television.
Yeah.
It was obviously every singing competition. Mm-hmm. It was Dance Moms. It was Cake Boss.
It was
John and K+8.
Yep.
And it was Ace of Cakes.
Yeah. All of the Food Network. That is sports. I mean, if your reflexes that
to be able to mold
the coordination,
a dog out of fondant.
The coordination is insane.
It really is something that I think was so educationally enriching.
Yes.
But at the same time, let's talk about the fact. Sorry, my foot just got stuck to the insect glue trap that fell on our floor upside down and is just stuck there, and it has been there now for weeks. It won't come up. The fact that the peak shows of interest in my life as a child were Dance Moms, John and K+8, Ace of Cakes, Cake Boss. All of those shows centered around major anxiety and rage.
Yep.
In my opinion, in my professional medical opinion, the kids who watched those, the fact that children were consuming that content was either in result of or in direct correlation to trauma.
Yeah.
Because you're seeking out things that you're already experiencing. So for me, I was anxious and I just everything felt like life or death to me.
Yeah.
And then watching Abby Lee Miller act like
a villain,
Paige forgetting her moves on stage was the end of the world, continued my confirmation bias that everything was life or death.
Yeah.
Watching Betty Valestro freak out that the cake might fall, life or death. Watching Kate Gosselin haul those kids into that giant sprinter van, life or death.
Yeah.
All of it was so, the stakes were so high. the way that reality television warped our perception of what really matters.
What's reality, yeah.
Is crazy.
Yeah.
And I wonder if, like, to make this all make sense, the same thing is true of sports.
Interesting.
At the end of the day, the ball not getting through the net is not life or death.
No.
But it is treated as such both on television and in practice.
Yeah. By all of your, like, coaches.
Yes. So everything feels like life or death. And that's why you get Troy Boltons. Like, that is, people freak out.
Yeah.
Imagine like Troy Bolton killed someone, but you know, like, it's like the anxiety. It's how you get used.
Yeah, I let a ball in the net and I would be sobbing.
Yeah.
Sobbing. They would scream.
Life or
Coaches are screaming. They're saying, you suck. You're doing this.
Like, what the fuck?
And I was like, fuck this all. I'm joining a cappella.
Yeah, and at least it's not life or death.
It wasn't.
Unless you're in the Barton Bellas.
Unless you're in the Barton Bellas.
The Cup song. Let's talk about the Cup song.
I don't want to say that I was doing things before it was cool, but I was doing the Cup song.
Everyone was doing the Cup song.
Everyone was doing I was doing the Cup song since I was 8.
Yeah, Anna Kendrick did not create the IP of the Cup song, but what she did do was launch it into being one of the most iconic songs of all time. You're right. And we don't talk about it enough. We don't talk about the Cup song enough. It was on the radio for a year straight. It was all you ever heard. You don't hear that come back into the... You don't hear it come back onto the radio. You don't hear it play in a store.
A moment in time.
You never often hear the Cup song or The Hanging Tree by Jennifer Lawrence, which topped the charts as well. Those two songs are hidden away in the dark abyss of time.
Again, it's the archives of life.
Like, why did we want to forget so badly that we put Anna Kendrick and Jennifer Lawrence at the top of the charts in the early 2010s. They were there and they deserve recognition.
Early 2010s, the cafeteria was the loudest place you could be because all you were doing was
when I'm gone.
Yeah, exactly. And then you add the lyrics on top of it. You're like, okay,
you're like, oh my God,
guys.
she's really... Anyone who did it, you're like, she's so talented.
So talented. If you were in the mascot, yes, you were a frontline worker.
Yeah.
It was so fucking hot.
Were you in it?
No, but I can imagine, like, during really any sports season that there was a visible mascot, like, it was either peak of, like, you're coming off of the summer into the fall, or you're, like, in the spring entering the summer.
Or you're in DCP.
Or you're a DCP, which, again, like, that they're sweating.
No, yeah. Again, to all those DCP kids, we see you and we hear you and we respect you.
We respect.
If you were a mascot in high school, you were a lesbian.
Yeah.
Like,
and you were
150%. Cool. Yeah, you were chill.
You were, like, interacting with the kick line and the cheerleaders, and you were like,
yeah,
give it a clap.
Yeah.
And you're like, everything.
No, like, she's goofy. She loves to have fun.
Goofy.
She's goofy.
And you're kind of like, wait, you're so amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say a month ago, we got a YouTube comment from Danielle.
Mm-hmm.
Danielle said, I want to feed you boys. I have a bakery.
And if anyone says I want to feed you boys,
we're saying yes.
Of course.
But we didn't because I was like, it's a YouTube comment. I don't really know how to, like, communicate on here or, like, whatever. But nevertheless, she persisted. And
that's a Long Island queen.
God, she did. Yes. Fellow Long Islander icon.
Yes.
Honestly, one of the best women I know. And that's based solely on what arrived today.
Yeah.
Which is...
There are a plethora of options. There are cookies. There are muffins. There are scones. There are biscuits. There is Nutella banana bread by the Hungry Gnome.
The Hungry Gnome.
I'm a Gnominista.
No, we're Gnoministas now. I'm nominating the Hungry Gnome for best bakery in the entire world because I took one bite of that biscuit and I actually ascended to heaven.
No, like the way that I actually was clenching my feet because I didn't know what to do with myself.
It was genuinely one of the best things I ever ate. And I know we say that often, that biscuit, I want to take a moment to really, 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 really thank Danielle, thank the Hungry Gnome, because this is an experience. Like, we've gotten stuff sent to us from brands before. Yeah. This is a human-to-human interaction, and it's someone who actually cares about good children.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show me, at least, that, like...
People are nice.
People are nice, and what we are doing is attracting the people that we would hang out with and want to be around regularly, which is, correct. Like, such a crazy feeling. Because I'm like... If Danielle can put that much love into the food she's baking, she's someone that I want to be around.
100%.
And, like, it's It's truly awe-inspiring.
I'm getting emotional thinking about it. I need to eat it.
We're
I'm
actually
sorry, I
being...
have to get off.
No, please. Burning up for you, baby. You don't think that was really good?
No, I think it was really
I feel like if I heard someone do what I just did, I'd be like, holy shit, Joe. That's pretty good.
No, I think that you are really good.
I just don't believe you.
So this is her Rosemary Biscuit.
I know we already had one today.
Yeah.
And it was the best thing I ever ate.
But we did not have it with the honey butter. Danielle.
I don't even want to. I'm not kidding.
I have chills.
Yeah, goosebumps. It's not only the flavor. It's not only the texture.
Sweet, it's savory. It's the softest biscuit I've had.
Yeah.
Like,
in my life.
In my life. And I know that we say everything is in my life, but I actually have to put this down because I want to save it for a little bit after and I want to just go ham on it.
I almost finished it.
This is Nutella banana bread.
No.
No, and I'm going to say it. Moist.
It's soaking moist.
It's soaking
so
moist.
Well baked.
The Nutella's at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
It was at the bottom.
I can't even believe it.
The way that she's thinking, the way that these are being created is genuinely...
This woman is a genius.
Okay. It's time for... The Girls' Room. Our first question, honestly, speaks to, I think, a lot of what we speak about and a lot of what we struggle with. So I think it's a perfect question to be spoken about. I'm having a hard time loving my body and soul. What are some things that can help with that? I mean, I'm speaking from my very personal, very unique experience here, so I can't speak for everyone, obviously. Mm-hmm. But for me, a lot of the challenges I had in learning to love myself and that whole journey were centered around the fact that I was treating my insecurities like a secret. Mm-hmm. And so I felt like I had this power over them as long as no one knew about them. And so when someone found out about them, mm-hmm. it was day ruining, it was month ruining, week ruining, life ruining. And that kept me back from so many things. Again, in terms of just dating, in terms of sex, in terms of just having a good time, in terms of being somewhere where it's windy. Yeah. All of these things completely controlled how I acted in public and in private. And I think what changed it for me was posting that TikTok where I just straight up listed every single one of my insecurities and showed them in HD on camera. Because it was now these are things that I'm owning. And it wasn't even that I had gotten to a point with my body or myself that I was actually confident in those things, but it was more it was faking it till I made it, because I was okay, now that these things are out there, what do I have to be insecure about? I don't have to I'm not protecting anything. It's all out in the open. So I would say consider ways that you can own who you are before you feel ready to. Yeah. Because you're never going to feel ready to.
And you're honestly the only person that's really hyperfixating on what you look like. Right?
Yeah, and
no
if
one
someone
really
else
is thinking about it.
And if someone else is, fuck them.
Because as Jesse McCartney says, I don't want another pretty face. I don't want just anyone to hold. I don't want my love to go to waste. I want you and your beautiful soul. Because at the end of the day, it's not about what you look like, it's about who you are. And for the people that are gonna love you, it's about who you are. So stop thinking about so much about what you look like.
And you look fucking hot. Yeah. Everyone looks the way you're supposed to look. You look hot. That is my biggest message for the world, is that everyone is hot.
People are looking at you for what their definition of hotness.
Yeah,
no.
That's not a real thing. It's all we all know. It's Eurocentric, fucked up, racist beliefs about what you're supposed to look like. You're just hot,
and we've ebbed and flowed.
Yeah, obviously.
Now we have loose skin.
Yeah, we do. Oh my god. Yeah.
And you know what?
This is how many times has this ruined your life?
This has ruined my life so many times. Because this is the one part of me that I've always felt like I needed to hide. Yeah. And I'm I'm a fitness coach, I do all these things, and I'm it's just skin.
It's just skin, and it's just your fucking body.
And no one fucking cares.
No. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that we gave you all of the trauma that you asked for when we talked about sports. I'm genuinely sorry if we did. You know exactly where to find us on TikTok at Good Children Pod. I'm on TikTok at BeQuietJoe.
I'm on TikTok at Andrew_Muskie.
We are on Instagram at GoodChildrenPod.
I'm on Instagram at Andrew Muscarella.
And I'm on Instagram at Joe, Hegyes. Please, you know exactly what to do. 5 stars, Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Send us a screenshot. We'll send you a video back. It might take us a couple days, but we will get to it. And
I love doing them.
it's so
much fun.
It's legit stalking.
And we're also like, obviously, the Apple Podcast reviews I'm obsessed with.
Yeah.
Spotify. I know you have Spotify.
Yeah.
I know you have it regardless. And
Because
we're
like
almost
we're
at
almost at
1,000
reviews. We've been doing this for like only 6 weeks. We've been doing it now for like
3
14
months.
weeks. Yeah, 3 months. And we're at 1,000 reviews. So crazy.
Whoa.
Also, some updates for you guys. If you're into like a Patreon moment, I think that we're headed that way very shortly, which is really exciting. Feel free to DM us with your ideas, your concepts, your pitches. We'd love to have someone give us an idea of what to do. We have a few things things planned, but we're all ears.
And also, if you want merch, that is another thing that we're thinking about. And again, if you know us, we don't do anything half-assed. It's going to be fully branded. It's going to be beautiful merch. But if you have ideas, if you have things that you want to wear, if you have things that you want just in your room, let us know and we will make it.
You're gonna miss me. What, you're not gonna sing?
Oh, when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my hair. You're gonna miss me everywhere. Oh, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
That song is bleak.
It
was always a very bleak song.
My mom still sings it to me to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah.